Hi. You probably noticed I'm in a location that you've never seen. I am in Houston. Scott came home last weekend for 2 days. He got home Friday night about 8:30 p.m. And as soon as we got in the door, the future in-laws came over. We invited them over, and it was like 9 o'clock, but it was the only time we could meet while Scott was in town. They stayed till 1:15, which was fine, but we went to bed. We were like zombies. Saturday, we got up. We worked all day in the house. Well, actually, I got my hair done, but he worked all day in the house, painting, fixing some tiles, and different things like that. And then we rushed out the door that night to dinner, went to Cheesecake Factory. And then Sunday, there were more chores to do around the house, just making sure everything's ready for a potential buyer. And but before we knew it, we had to leave for the airport at 2 o'clock. It was awful. And I guess we left about 3. About noon, I looked at Scott. He'd been home like by then, 48 hours. And I said, and this is the first time he's been home since he left on March 1st. No, yeah, March 1st. So he's been gone 2 months. Now I did see him at the end of March, and now it's the end of April. And he was only home 48 hours. And I just looked at him and I said, you know what? This isn't going to work. And he goes, I know. And I said, what are we going to do? I don't want you to leave. And he goes, I don't want to leave. Well, we sat there a little while, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna book a flight. I'm gonna fly home with you, or not home, back to Houston, because this house that he is staying in. By the way, don't you love her glass? Collection. We've got, I guess it's depression glass or something, but we've got that is my favorite color. Love. It's not pink. It's kind of peach, I guess. And then she's got a lot of white, and then she's got some green, and I guess some blue. But it goes, this thing goes all the way to the floor. It's quite beautiful. Anyway, so I said, I'm just going to book a flight and leave today and go home with you. So I got online. Not one seat was available on his airline or any airline. It was too late. It was just too late. Nothing available. So I looked, I said, I can't fly home with you tonight, and he's like, oh man. And I said, well, he goes, what? I said, why don't we just get in the car and drive it together in my car? And he goes, okay, yeah, let's do that. And then the more we thought about it, I said, then I'm stuck in Houston with my car, and then I'm gonna have to drive home 15 hours alone. I didn't want to do that. And so we decided to rent a car. We were gonna rent a car in Tampa and drive it and drop it off in Houston at the airport where his truck was sitting. To do that, it was going to be $800, and we were going to have to drive all night long. That didn't work. So we were about to give up, and I said, look, let me just check the flights tomorrow. I'll just come in tomorrow night. You pick me up after work. So that's what I did. Long story to tell you, I quite spontaneously got in the, planned a flight, got a flight, and flew to Houston, and I'm staying for an entire week. I'm so glad I did it. It was just crazy. I am here all alone. They've offered, the people that own this house, did I already say this, are on a cruise. So this was a perfect week for me to come, because I'm not going to be in their way or anything. And they called from Key West last night and talked to Scott, and they said, oh, the car keys are in the cabinet. She can use our car. And I'm like, I'm not going to use their car. Although, let me tell you something. About 5 miles from here is the most mega shopping. I mean, I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and I told you, no matter where you are, there's some shopping near you. Oh my goodness. Everything you can imagine. I actually might use their car tomorrow and go over to the shopping center because it's so close. But I'm in way out of Houston. It takes Scott 45 minutes to get to work in the mornings, but coming home in the traffic at night, it takes him an hour and a half. But they graciously offered for him to stay here a while. They don't have kids or anything. And he used to work with the woman that lives here years ago. And we've known her forever. So anyway, So I spontaneously came and it's been wonderful. I'm here alone, but I've been able to just kind of chill and just kind of relax a little bit. And I'm going to make some videos while I'm here. So you will see this backdrop quite a few times, I hope. I've been working on my bullet journal. And really quickly, let me tell you, this thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. This is an update on the bullet journal. It's awesome. I will link the video that I did on the bullet journal in the bottom bar below. And I decorated the front of mine because it was exactly the same on both sides. And I never knew where the front was. So I decorated the front. And it's absolutely wonderful. You know, I've just kept track of everything. And now I'm going to be able to do a wedding. If you didn't watch my last video, we're having a wedding. We have set the date tentatively for October 2nd. It's going to be in Tampa. My youngest daughter's getting married, blah, blah, blah. You can watch that video if you want. But I've started a wedding brain dump page. And I do have a wedding notebook in case anybody was wondering. I've got that all set. Anyway, enough about the wedding. If you want me to do a wedding kind of series, I'll do that. 2 or 3 videos on how it's been planning the wedding and how it's going to be doing the wedding from a distance, because I'm trying to cram everything in now before the house sells so that I can be in Tampa planning it, if you know what I mean, visiting venues and that kind of a thing. So this is just an update. I don't know. I've just been hanging out. Oh, I've also been doing something really fun. I have been prayer journaling forever, for probably 15 years at least. I was at a conference of some sort, and a man was talking. It was a women's conference, but the husband of one of the women, one of the speakers, came up, and he was talking about how when you pray, you get super distracted. And oh my gosh, I had little kids at the time. I was so distracted all the time. I would, try to pray. It wasn't working. I mean, it was working as well as it could. But I have one of those minds that can go in a million directions. Some of you remember this adorable journal that my friend Diane gave me in the gift basket at the hotel at the Hilton Garden Inn, if you remember that video. Anyway, I am enjoying this so much. Normally, I have a lot of journals, but they're just blank pages. And I just sit there every morning and write out my prayer. Briefly, write out, sometimes longer, have my little reading, and then do that. Okay. This has been so fun because the pages are so fun. The pages are decorated already. A lot of them are. All of them are. But they just make you, I don't know, it's fun every morning when I open it. Well, what I did, now I don't want to show you close enough to where you can read, but I've started not just writing my prayers, but, sometimes using different colors and doing different things. So that's been a lot of fun. And I got these markers from Amazon, and they've been great. And they're real, real fine though. So I also have a set of, what are those? Flares. Remember the flare pen? I also got a set of those to use, and they're fatter. And I absolutely love doing it. And it just makes it more fun. You feel kind of creative. It helps you remember what you've prayed for, thought about, read in the Bible that day. If you kind of illustrate it a little bit. Now, I'm not talking anything fancy, as you could see. But, yeah. So, that's what else I've been doing. I don't know. This video is just a little update. Oh, I'm thinking of doing a crazy series for this channel, and I would be doing a video every single day in the month of May, and I want to title the video series, How to Have a Happy Day in May. I've really been struggling with that lately, and I remember when, this will be an intro to it as well, if you want it. Let me know in the comments you would like the series. It will be very short videos, so don't think they're going to be more than 3 to 5 minutes every day. When Scott had cancer years ago, 5 years ago, I guess, 3 to 5 years ago, I was the master of my mood. I was happy almost every single day. of the 2.5-ish year journey that we took with the cancer. People were amazed. Now, why was I happy almost every day? I mean, there was the day of the diagnosis. I was not happy that day. There was days of, biopsies and all that. Those were not exactly happy days. There were days of the cancer's back, we didn't get it. Those kind of days were not happy, but almost, I would say 95% of the days of the entire journey were happy. Scott too, because the wife I think the wife carries the mood of the relationship more than the husband. And so if I was happy, he was happy. If I was calm, he was calm. If I was upbeat, he was upbeat. He totally fed off my mood. I don't know why, but he did. And I'm sure he had his own things he was thinking that he didn't share with me, and that's fine. But overall, we just did stuff every day. We did something fun. If we had an appointment, we did something fun that day afterwards. We had something to look forward to all the time. We kept going to Paris those 3 years. We just lived our lives. Why? Because it was out of my control. You can't control cancer. All you can do is all you can do. So, but I learned the art of being happy anyway and not dwelling. Well, I've lost that art lately. Just recently, very recently, I have lost it because I've been thinking all the negative things about everything that we're doing right now. Negatively, I've just been negative inside. I've been anxious. It's just not good. So I'm going to think back to what was it that I did that made me so happy during those years. And I want to share that with you. Now, I don't have anything written down yet. I'm just going to do it impromptu. But I want to do this because I want to have a happy day. And I want to remember what was it that made me happy those days. If I wake up on May 14th and I'm just feeling, I'm going to do something that day that's going to pull me out of it. And I'm going to share it with you if you would like that. Now, this is going to be surface happy. I'm not talking about joy, although I don't get that when people say joy is something deep down inside and happiness is surface. I mean, I kind of get that. Yeah, I'm joyful. I'm going to heaven when I die, but I want to be happy now. And yes, I'm happy that I know where I'm going. I know my life is intact. I know I'm living, as well as I can, but that doesn't mean I'm happy every day. This is going to be surface happy that I'm talking about. It's not going to be super deep. Maybe I'll throw in a deep one, here and there, but it's just going to be silly things, happy things, choose happiness. There's this in this book, every couple of pages, I come across this one. If I can find it, on the bottom of this spread, it says, choose happiness. And sometimes that's all it takes. Just be happy, Like I saw this thing on, Bob Newhart did this thing one time recently. You've got to Google it, and I might have already shared this, but he's a therapist in this little sketch they did, and it's on YouTube. And it says, this woman comes in and she's saying she's not happy. She's doing this. She's doing these weird things. And every time she says something she's doing, he just looks at her and he goes, stop it. It's the most profound video ever. Because sometimes you're dwelling and you just need to stop it. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of things I'm going to tell you to do. Yeah, it's going to be really deep. I'm going to put on my therapy glasses. And I'm going to tell you, even though they're filthy, how to have a happy day. All right, I've babbled enough. It's another Seinfeld episode on the Terry Gigi channel. Much to do about nothing. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want me to do that series. See ya.